Everybody doing today? Message. If we, the people, plan to be free, we have to lose our price. But how? How do we lose our price as a people? How do we say, I'm not going to work for anything when you have needs? How do we say that we rather suffer to become the ruling class of this country? How do we say that? How do we do that? How? The only way to really lose your price is to have something other than service to offer. Something that the people in charge needs. For anything. And the way we have to organize. And I'm not talking just to black people, white people, Spanish, Latinos, or Asians, or anybody. I'm talking about as a group. We as people have to start producing. We don't produce. The only thing we produce is air and carbon dioxide because we trade our services for a price. We need to trade what we have, our possessions, for a price. And if we ever get to the point where we can do that, but it's kind of hard now with the soil is bad, all kind of stuff, the water's bad. We have to grow our own crops. We have to make our own clothes. We have to own our own banks. Really, we have to open up our own stores. And we can't sit here and think about the price of what to charge people so much as into a movement. I know I said before we don't need a movement, but actually we do. Sorry, my nose itching. But actually we do kind of need a movement. We need a movement where we produce basic needs, not wants, basic needs like food, water, shelter for our communities. We also need to produce, because you got to think, a basic need is a currency. It's a form of tender. It's a form of currency. A basic need is a form of currency. If you don't get that, I don't know what you can get, what you can understand. But a basic need is a form of currency. Something that people can't do without. It can be medicine. We have to start making our own medicine, getting our own medicine. But in order to do that, we have to grow crops, stuff like that. Raise our own cows and all that. But it costs so much. It's like to start off anything productive is, you got to sell yourself for a price. That's what it seemed like. But I bet you, if as a group we got together, we wouldn't have to sell ourselves for a price. You're not going to make nothing at first. Only thing you'll get is the satisfaction of working towards something bigger and greater. How you think these people who are above, that runs, not the you got to think the people that run this country are not residents of this country. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a country. A country is its own piece of land by another group. That's a country. There are groups, but I can't deny that the global community is a bad thing. Like, I can't say that the global community is a bad thing, because think about it. The more global we become, the more connected we become with people in other situations like ours. It will start a movement, and when it happens, it wouldn't be, oh, America did this, now the French got to do it, or the French did this, now America got to do it, or the English did this, now the French got to do it, or the America got to do it. No, it'll be the last movement, the last. And I'm telling you, once this thing go global with this internet and all these computers and phones, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Skype, Vine, once it go full blast, it'll be the last movement, because the majority who are suffering will have an input, a say-so, a power, a word, a strong word with authority that nobody can ignore. And they were shaking their boots, and people will die. People will be locked up. People will be persecuted and terrorized. But with a group as the majority behind it, as say in America, the majority makes the laws. The majority are whites. No offense to whites, I'm part white too a little bit, but no offense. But they make the laws, and they have the right to say that other groups with a little bit of white, it's just one race, but not instead of being mixed. Not realizing they probably mixed themselves, but that's beyond the fact. Think about it. If I'm Bahamian, white, and black, in this country I'm only black, because the majority in this country says that I am black or African American. Never seen African in my life, probably never will. But now this is getting to the point. The fact that a local place, approximate place, proximity can label you. It's crying to show the need for this globality. Yes, I made that word up. Globality. It's crying for the thing, and it will happen. It will be the last movement. And I know one day, probably 15 years from now, somebody gonna say, that boy was speaking the truth. And when that happens, I don't know if I'm gonna be here or not, but I don't care. I'm living right now. All right, thank you. Last movement.